Let's face it, no matter what happens in the coming months, 2015 is destined to be remembered as the year of Star Wars. In case you've just awoken from a lengthy carbonite-induced nap, this December sees the release of the first Star Wars film in 10 years, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
Chewie, we're home.
Bringing the triumphant trio of Han, Luke and Leia back to the screen for the first time in 3 decades, Episode 7 looks set to offer fans of the original trilogy a Star Wars film they've been pining for since the 80s. And by that we mean, one that doesn't suck. Yet, while the thought of a genuinely good new Star Wars film has certainly awakened a force within us, it's the November release of EA's Star Wars Battlefront that is drawing us in harder than the Death Star's tractor beam. Developed by DICE, the brains behind the rather awesome Battlefield series, on paper, Battlefront looks to be the Star Wars Battlefield mashup that gamers have always dreamed about. Yet while the large-scale combat and vehicle-filled mayhem looks immediately familiar to fans of EA's popular shooter, surprisingly, when we got our hands on the game, it actually had far more in common with the Battlefront games of old. Unlike the previous games, however, the latest Battlefront sadly doesn't come with a story mode of any kind. The finished game will instead ship with 7 different multiplayer modes, and we were lucky enough to get our hands on 2 of them. The first, Fighter Squadron, does exactly what it says in the tin, pitting 10 players against each other in action-packed aerial dogfights. Taking control of either an X-Wing or a TIE Fighter, these 10v10 deathmatches see you try and destroy the enemy team and complete various objectives as you soar around firing upon a combination of human players and AI. While the mix of human and AI opponents may seem a bit weird initially, opting for a similar system to Titanfall means that even if you're more of a C-3PO than a Luke Skywalker, you still stand a good chance of blowing up a few enemy ships. This mode is a joy to play. The second you hop into that TIE Fighter and duck and weave your way through your first wall of laser fire, you'll find yourself grinning from ear to ear. Relentlessly pursuing the enemy through a sea of explosions and laser fire is a riveting experience, and finally outwitting and destroying a rival pilot kept us coming back again and again. Yet, as enjoyable as destroying the rebel scum was, luckily there is more to this relatively simple mode than just destroying the enemy team. At certain points in each round, team objectives are also thrown into the mix, rallying players to defend an important ship or even to attack a specific land-based objective. Obviously inspired by Battlefield's Rush mode, these area-based objectives are a nice touch, keeping the players moving and adding some much-needed variety to proceedings. While not exactly revolutionary, Fighter Squadron was a hell of a lot of fun. If you've ever sat there making TIE Fighter noises and like things that go pew pew pew, you'll love it. We then got to play a survival mission on Tatooine. These horde-like missions task you with defeating waves of enemies, either alone or with a friend. The first thing that struck us about this mode was how stunning everything looks. Gameplay-wise, the section was much as you'd expect. Take out increasingly difficult waves of stormtroopers, secure an objective, and then repeat. While the addition of shields, special weapons, and a small jetpack helped to keep the gameplay more interesting than just mindless shooting, we can't stress enough how much the visuals really make the experience. The level culminated in us taking down an AT-ST walker, and as the mission accomplished screen flashed up before us, suddenly I was transported right back into reality. While we have yet to play the large-scale ground-based modes that you'd expect from the game proper, what we've seen of Battlefront definitely shows a lot of promise. With all the hype around the game, many will be disappointed if Battlefront doesn't end up being the greatest game ever made. But from what we've played so far, it's shaping up to be a visually beautiful and authentic take on the Star Wars universe. And really, that's all we've ever wanted from a Star Wars game.